The Order of the Woojin Mystic class is a really fun mod you can play as in this game, so let's go over it, level by level, combat tutorial, and all the items, so let's jump right in. And we start with the Mystic. Now, we're going to start with Energy Beam, nice little fire-based spell, acid can erode objects, all that fun sort of stuff. And Mind Thrust. Strike directly at a creature's mind, 1 to 10 psychic damage. I think for damage dealing purposes as cantrips, these two are great. Now, before you do your Sonic Disciplines, we're going to just leave it whatever it is here, and we want to skip through and we want to go to our Order of the Woojin. Make sure if you're on console you pick this first. Reason being is, once you've done that, you will unlock the Mastery of Fire and the Mastery of Ice. I'll come back to these. Reason I say is to do that first is because you'll notice our Sonic Discipline has now changed. Depending on which subclass is selected here, the automatic ones, when you first start the game, will automatically be picked. So you've got to make sure that when you go forward with the game, you go back and then pick your discipline afterwards. Now, we are going to take Psychic Assault to go alongside this, so you wield your mind like a weapon, unleashing salvos of sonic energy. And Mastery of Fire. You align your mind with the energy of elemental fire, and the Mastery of Ice. You master the power of ice, shaping it to meet your demands. Obviously, there's things like water, we got air, ice, thunder, force, all those fun things. But I think baseline to start with, fire and ice are perfect too. Now when it comes to ability points, I would have 8 strength, I'd have 16 dexterity for initiative and finesse based weapons, 14 constitution, 16 intelligence as this is your spellcaster modifier, 10 wisdom and 10 charisma. For proficiencies, take whatever you feel like. And that brings us to Mystic level 2. Now this gives us our psi points. These are basically like sorcerer points. So if you know how to use sorcerer points, psi points works very similar. We get telepathy, so again the ability to peer into the minds and read thoughts. And mystical recovery. After spending psi points, you can spend a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1 plus half your mystic level. So you spend psi points and as a bonus action you can heal up. Really good if you're going to be in melee. Mystic level 3 gives us a whole bunch of new features and loads of bonus actions. So let's start with our psi point limit increase. We get Nomadic Step, so increase your movement speed by 3 meters after teleporting, stacks up to 5 times. Step of a dozen paces, teleport up to 6 meters. Defensive Step, this is a reaction, so you're about to be hit by an attack, you can increase your armor class by 4. There and back again, teleport up to 6 meters until the end of your turn, your movement speed increases by 6 meters and you can cast back again. We get Transposition, so swap places with an ally. Baleful Transportation, attempt to swap positions with an enemy. Phantom Caravan, reach out of the planes beyond and shift the location of surrounding allies. To the end of your turn, you may cast Phantom Journey at will. We have things like Nomad's Gate, create 2 linked teleportation portals, Beacon, lots of really good stuff. But the biggest thing is as an action, Elemental Attunement. Choose an element and ignore creatures' resistances to it when dealing damage, meaning we can pair this with our Fire and Ice Mastery and really pile out the damage. Again, we also have Nomadic Step, to exert your mind to an area around you, twisting the interplanar pathways you perceive to allow instantaneous travel. Now at this point we do have loads of spells you can pick from, as we saw here. Lots of good options. There's Blade Meld, your weapon becomes one of your handprint, you can be disarmed. Got things like Light Step, your movement speed increased by 3 and immune to being prone. I personally would go with something like Psychic Hammer, push or pull a creature up to 3 meters. There's also Mystic Hand, you've got Mystic Charm, but I really like Psychic Hammer. Sonic Weapon. You've learned how to channel psychic energy into attacks, leading them to devastating power. That is going to be our next discipline we take. Mystic level 4 gives us our first feat. Before that, we get Strength of Mind. Gain proficiency in a saving throw of your choice. And then for your ability score improvement, we're just going to bump our intelligence up to 18, as this is our main spellcasting modifier. Psychic level 5 brings a whole bunch of new things we can do. Now before this, we have to pick a discipline. Bestial form is always fun, transform your body into traits of different beasts. Lots of good things like corrosive metabolism. I would personally take Mastery of Weather. Your mind reaches into the sky, reshaping the stuff of storms to serve your needs. This pairs very nicely with Mastery of Water eventually. Mystic level 6, we can now create spell slots, again very sorcerer-like. And now we get to pick some spells, and as you can see there are lots of good options. For me personally, I would take Fireball, because I think Fireball is phenomenal, and our Mastery of Fire. We're going to take Glyph of Warding. I love this spell. You can basically use it like a bomb, so it's meant to be when you place it down and someone walks into it, it will trigger and they'll explode. I like using it as a bomb, place it on top of a bunch of enemies, then at the end of their turn, or at the end of your turn, it'll explode, causing so much damage. I'll show you this though. And we're going to take Lightning Bolt. Call forth a blast of lightning that hits all creatures in the line of eruption. Okay, Mystic level 7 brings us a whole bunch of more spells and abilities. Before that we have one more discipline, and as I said before, we're going to go for Mastery of Water. You can see this gives you a whole bunch of spells on the side, and we will go over all of these in the combat tutorial. Mystic level 8, a new feat, and Psionic Strike. After hitting an enemy with a weapon attack, you can do an additional 1 to 8 psychic damage. And for your ability improvement, Intelligence up to 20. Mystic level 9, we increase our Psi limit, and again, all of this depends on what discipline you take here. At level 9, we're going to take Mantle of Courage. You focus your mind on courage, radiating confidence and bravado. Now you might be wondering why we're taking this. Well, if we come to our spells over here, you'll see we have things like Incite Courage. This is a bonus action. We can remove things like Frightened, Charmed and Fear. Aura of Victory, so grants you and your allies 2 temporary hit points whenever a nearby enemy is reduced to 0 hit points. And Pillar of Confidence, instead up to 6 creatures with a surge of confidence, grant them an extra action on their next turn. Really, really nice ability. Level 10 brings us Consumptive Power. Tap into your own life force, regain 7 psi points, but reducing your maximum hit points by 7. And Light Step. Alter your weight and density, increasing your movement speed by 3 meters and becoming immune to prone. Now, that is a really good ability to take. You could take it if you want to. Again, there are so many good options here though. You've got things like Mind Meld, you've got things like Blind Spot. I do like Beacon, so I would personally go Beacon, as I think it's just a really nice utility spell to have. Mystic level 11, Sonic Mastery Charge. So Sonic Mastery Charges can be used to activate Sonic Mastery once per turn, allowing you to cast a free Sonic Discipline for free. And then finally, Mystic level 12, one more discipline, and at this point I would personally take Sonic Restoration, turning yourself into a healer on the battlefield. Very good for endgame stuff. Kind of makes you a jack of all trades, to be honest, which I really, really like. And then for your feat or ability score, a few things you could do. You could take Alert to boost your AC. I would personally just take the ability score improvement and bump your dexterity up to 18. Now when it comes to equipment, because the build is so powerful, there's only a few things I would personally recommend. I'd recommend the Flesh Melter Cloak, 1 to 4 acid damage. I'd recommend the Boots of Genial Striding, so we're unimpeded but difficult terrain. The Elegant Studded Leather, plus 2 to initiative rolls, advantage on stealth checks, and Shield as a level 1 Abjuration spell. The Hell Dust Gloves to give you a 1 to 6 fire damage with your attacks. You also gain a +1 bonus to spells, attack rolls, and spell save DC. The Strange Conduit Ring, so while concentrating on a spell, our weapon attacks do an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. And for a weapon, I really like the Lightning Jabber. So on a hit, possibly shock your target, throw in lightning damage, when launched at target, do an additional 1 to 4 lightning damage. Really good, just jabber for lightning. We got fire on it as well. Awesome stuff. So that is our build. Let's go find some combat and test it out. Okay, now we've left camp, and I just want to show you we have so many capabilities. Thanks to our side points, and you'll see we have loads. We have lots of ones we can do for healing. We've got our Consumptive Power. We have all of our water spells. We've got our Aura of Courage and all that. We've got our normal spells. We have all our thunder spells, thanks to our Master of Fire, and Thunder, and Ice. Incredible stuff. So I will show you all of these, well, a lot of them. It'll take forever to go through all of them, but we'll show you some in combat. Okay, you'll see we are top of the turn order, alongside our lovely Rogue. So if we end our turn, we have our enemy here. Now if we just do a basic attack with our Lightning Jabber, that's a great start to the fight. Regardless, we then have our bonus action, so we can gain some temporary hit points if we use something like Frozen Sanctuary. So if we do this, now you'll see our hit points are 107, and we used a few of our psionic points. We used 7, I believe, but a really nice way of just boosting it up. Now if we use our elemental augmentation, we can actually pick something to make them weak to. So let's do fire, and that means our fire attacks are going to be even more powerful against these foes. Okay, now let's start doing some fire stuff. We have Fire Form, so we can breathe ourselves in fire if people end their turn near us. We've got Detonate, where we can cause a fire explosion. We've got Rolling Flame. Lots of awesome things. We've got Fireball. There's the Rays of Fire that we got thanks to our gloves. We've even got Combustion. So let's start with Detonation. We're going to place it here. Now, if you do Friendly Fire, it's fine. We are just testing this out for your people's pleasure. Play a little bit more tactically than me. let's just place it here. And there you go, knock the enemies prone, we've done damage to all of them, and that still frees up our bonus action. We could do a 5 form again, we've got things like Strength of Mind, we've got Unearth Your Weapon, we have our Insight Courage, Consumptive Power, lots of good options still with your bonus actions to really give you some versatility. Okay, now it's back to our turn, and what we're going to do now is do 5 form. So this is a bonus action, use 5 more of our side points. And there you go, now any enemy that is within 3 meters of us when we end will take fire damage. What we can also do is we still have loads of other spells available, and we're going to do a Glyph of Warding. Now I mentioned this before, I love this spell. What we can do is we're going to do cold damage. So we're going to place it just here. Again, we'll do some friendly fire, that's okay. And like I said, usually it'd be a Glyph, and when you stand on it, it causes damage. But if enemies are in it at the end of your turn, it will automatically trigger and damage them again. So this has lots of AoE based spells. Okay, so you see, we sort of let the fight take a bad turn. That's because we have all our healing capabilities here. So you have like Restore Vigor, Mend Wounds, Restore Health, and Restore Life. So let's do Mend Wounds, and you can upcast as high as you need to, and it will only cost 7 Sonic points. So let's close the difference in here. And there you go, 28 points of healing. And we still have our bonus actions available. We can come back in with another 5 form if we wanted to. And there we go. And again, we still have all our other spells. So let's start benefiting a little bit. Let's do our Water Whip. We'll do it at 4th level. And effectively, we're just going to do it in a straight line down here. We are going to hit our person, just like that. But you see, we killed one, and we've got this one. And because it's water, obviously we can pair this with our lightning. So if we come and find our spells like this, we've got Lightning Leap, Hungry Lightning. We should do it up 1st level. Hit the water. As you see, we now have Electrified Water. And if he was in that, it'd be causing a lot of damage. Now there's other things you can also do with your abilities. We have like Ice Stuff, as I've said before. But a really cool feature is we can animate water to make a elemental, and we can throw it up here. Just like that. And now this elemental is ready to start striking the enemies up here. And while we've got our lovely person there, we still have other abilities we can do. So for example, we've got these 2 enemies here next to each other. So if we were to do a nice little ice ball, just like that, you'll see we threw them up. Now unfortunately they are rogues, they take less damage than usual, which is unfortunate. But you can make these massive ice pillars that deal some really fun damage. And now our lovely little water elemental can start attacking as well. Not a huge amount of damage, but it's still free damage. And again, we can just start throwing out those AoEs, so we can get another detonation going up here, causing mass damage to these guys. Just like that, we broke our little ice wall, dealing more damage and all sorts. And again, we've got more spells you can do, more concentration ones. So let's throw up some Frozen Rain. We'll pull it here. And there you go, you literally rain down death. It's such an incredible build and so many fun things you can do with these characters, with this class. Okay, now bear in mind, in that fight we obviously made go awful, so I can shout the healing capabilities and whatnot. If you were to come in here and take a short rest, you will see it doesn't show you how many abilities you have with your side points anymore. So bear that in mind, okay? It is going to be hard to judge it. But I really hope you have enjoyed this build. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. It's so overpowerful. If you actually play it properly, not just throw out any random attacks and AoEs and let your characters die, you can genuinely melt enemies with this. With all the AoE stuff, with the different masteries, the healing as well, it's just one of my favourite and probably most overpowered mods in the game. So I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please drop the episode a like, helps me tremendously, and let me know in the comments below what you'd do differently, what other abilities you take, all that fun stuff. If you're ready, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more Baldur's Gate guides, Path of Exile 2, Dragon Age to Veilguard, all that fun stuff. I really hope you have enjoyed, and if you have, hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.